Alright, looks like we're up against Titanshift. First turn, search for tomorrow. I think we're going to lead with the Noble Hierarch instead of the Pilgrim. I guess the Pilgrim could attack for an extra point of damage on turn 4, theoretically. I guess we already have blue mana. Maybe the Pilgrim is better. Alright, so we don't really want to draw land, so I guess we'll fetch it out. We don't really want to take damage either, though. So I guess we'll go with a forest. So we can go forest, pilgrim, mayor. But then if they go anger of the gods, we're kind of in bad shape. I guess we're kind of in bad shape either way, though. Then next turn we can company. Swamp, huh? Interesting. Mountain means... I don't know, I mean, I guess they play any number of mountains anyway. Just for Valakut. Sweet. Guess we didn't need to do that. Guess it gets one more point in. And our mayor flips. Abrupt decay. Alright. I think we just let everything happen, then company on their end step. Or if they anger, then we just float a mana and then company after it resolves. Get through the breach for Titan here. Turn early. Okay. Yeah, sort of company on their end step. We get Sin Collector, Mayor, Champion, Lieutenant. Let's see. We're going to play Reflector Mage on our turn, potentially. I think that we want Sin Collector and Mayor. In case they have Scape Shift, we want to cast Sin Collector. And I think Mayor is more important than Lieutenant. I guess it kind of does the same thing. Except then Mayor flips. Transforms, becomes a bigger creature. I guess Lieutenant, even if they have a removal spell, we get the value. Whereas Mayor, we don't. I guess I'll just get the Lieutenant. Summoner's Pact, Titan, Titan. Alrighty. Just got a pair of Titans. 8, 9. So if they cast Titan and they get 2 mountains, they cannot do anything with it. We can path the Titan and they get the 5th mountain, so if they draw a mountain, then they can kill something with the mountain that they get off the path. Let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Put the opponent at 9. Then we cast Reflector Mage and then attack for 9 next turn. So we don't actually need to path. We don't need to cast the Reflector Mage this turn. So we're playing around a drawn mountain by not casting Reflector Mage. Yep. Well, they didn't get it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Still good to play around it, though. And attack for lethal. Alright, so this matchup, Staticaster doesn't do much. Rest in Peace doesn't do much. Stony Silence doesn't do much. Reclamation Sage could do something if they have Colony Heart Expedition. We haven't seen that out of them yet. Some versions don't run it. Campbell can deal some damage and can also conveniently gain some life to require them to have an extra mountain. It's not super effective, though. The opponent is reasonably likely to bring in like Obstinate Baloth, Thragtusk type cards because those interact with us. And so Path to Exile gets better after sideboard, but this is the matchup where giving them a land is actually worse than any other matchup because their whole game plan is getting to 7 lands for the Valakut. So I actually don't like the Path to Exile plan. I would rather just Reflector Mage their threat. So I want to bring those out. I want to board in some number of these cards. Mirran Crusader is good because it can attack through their green creatures, but it doesn't really stop what they're trying to do. Like Sin Collector stops what they're trying to do by taking their Scape Shift or their Anger of the Gods or whatever. Thalia, Guardian of Thraben, makes all the ramp spells cost more. Thalia, Heretic Cathar slows them down by making their non-basic lands enter tapped. So all these cards are pretty good. I don't really want to bring anything out. Meddling Mage, I'm not really sure what I would name. It's easy if you play Sin Collector first. We're not necessarily going to have that luxury, though. I think just loading up on 3s might be the answer. Campbell's legendary, and he's not super good in this matchup. So I think just bringing in 1 is fine. And maybe after we see some more things, we can bring in Meddling Mage. I feel like Meddling Mage, maybe it's supposed to come in. But I don't know. We'll see. All our cards are good. So Confluence into Champion. I think we start with Pilgrim. Next turn we go Champion, Champion. The next turn, Lieutenant. Definitely keeping. If we draw another land that can produce green or white, and we did. So now we can go Champion into Champion Pilgrim. I think I like that better. We're gonna take some damage from our lands, but I think that's okay. It means they'll kill us at 7 lands, because they only have to deal us 18 from the Valakut. Okay, that was somewhat helpful. Now's the time where we want to stop drawing lands. Next turn we can cast Collected Company, unless they wreck our board. If they Anger the Gods us, then we go Township Lieutenant, and then next turn we Company. And if they don't Anger the Gods us, I think we're in really good shape. Okay, that's about what I expected. Maybe we'll draw like a Sin Collector here. Okay. If you really want to play around or have an answer to a card like Anger the Gods proactively, you can run, what's the card? It's a white enchantment. It's a white and 1 to cast that your creatures don't take non-combat damage. It's like Mark of something, I think. That card would stop Anger the Gods and is also just generically good against a lot of lightning bolt type of effects. Gulligan's Command. Alright, so they do have an enchantment. They have Valakut Scapeshift. Well, they're going to get Search from Tomorrowland. So if they have a Valakut, then they can start beating us basically. I think that I want to do it now, in case we hit a Sin Collector. We could do it on their draw step, actually. That might be better. It doesn't get the damage in from the Lieutenant, but it does give us maximum chances of hitting Sin Collector, or to hitting their spell off Sin Collector. Because if it's on top of their deck, then we want to be able to take it off there too. Like if we cast Company now, we'd get more damage in from the Lieutenant this turn. But I think I'd rather be able to get their Scapeshift if it's the card they draw for the draw step here. Alright, so they drew their card. What happened? Alright, so we hit Nothing that we wanted. Mirren Crusader and I guess Thalia is not going to help too much in this spot. I guess if they take, if they don't have an untapped land and they play Summoner's Pact to find Primeval Titan, then they can't cast it if we play the Thalia. We have a Township. We don't have an untapped land. I think we just want to get the extra damage in, though. 2 more companies go to the bottom. Sad face. Probably not winning this game. Yeah, this game, if they didn't have the Anger of the Gods, or if we were on the play, we could grow our champions big enough to be too big for the Anger of the Gods, I think we would have won easily. But as it stands, they're going to start doing their thing, killing us. Assuming they have their thing. I mean, like, you definitely keep a hand that's like Try Builder, Anger, Search for Tomorrow. And they could have just drawn like blanks, but. Alright, well, they don't have Valak and they only have 1 card left in hand. Alright. Things are looking up Millhouse. All of a sudden. So Crusader hits for 8. This guy's going to hit for 6. So that's 14, 15, 16. So we're going to hit for 16, 17. Man, the opponent's almost dead. Alright, took first strike damage, now regular. Alright, you're at 2. Don't need to stop in your draw step again. Did you draw it? I don't even know the Titan gets him out of this situation. I guess both Valakuts count and trigger each other. Actually, it wouldn't even be enough to get rid of the Lieutenant, though, because they have to kill the Crusader. Okay, so they can kill the Mayor with 1 hit, Crusader with another hit, then the Lieutenant with the other 2 hits. So then we have a 1-2 and a 1-1. Then we can just activate Township. So even Primeval Titan there getting double Valakut, they have to have another land in their hand. So, alright, well, good games.